Welcome to Chapter 11, Customary Measurement. This unit is on measuring using the customary system. The customary system is generally used in the United States because most of the world uses the metric system. But if you go to the United States, you'll find that the customary system is still being used a lot. And because we are at an international school which is based on American curriculum or American books, a lot of your textbooks that you'll experience at NIS will have customary measurement in them, as well as our MAPS test. So it is important to learn customary measurement as well as the metric system. Okay, so let's get right into it. The first lesson is customary units of length. Length is the measurement of a line between 2 points. Okay, and we've talked about lines and line segments. So it's between 2 points. Inches, foot, and yard are units that are part of the customary system of measure for length. So I'm sure you've heard of inches and feet and yard. And I have here an example of a ruler. Okay, and you see that this is inches. And on this side, we have centimeters. And you can see that 1 inch is larger than 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter is about the size of let's zoom in here for a second, about the size of my finger. See how it sits on there? Okay, so then an inch, if 1 centimeter is about 1 finger, so then an inch is about 2 fingers. Okay, a little bit more because this finger's a bit fatter, but it's about the same as about 2 fingers. So 1 inch centimeter, you can say about 2 inches if we were estimating. About 2 fingers is about an inch if we were estimating. Okay, so that's the customary. So when you hear cups, yards, gallons, anything like that, you're going to know that it's customary. Okay, so let's get right into it. The actual size of a neon damsel marine fish is shown. How long is this fish to the nearest inch, 1/2 inch, and inch? Okay, so there's basically 4 things we need to know. 1, how long? Okay, so that means we need some sort of measuring device. And then we need to know to the nearest. So when I see this, I know we're estimating. To the nearest inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/4 inch. So we have this chart here where they want us to record our answers. Okay, so first thing is compare the length to what you know about inches. Record the length in the table. Okay, so inches. Let me just adjust my light for a second. Oh, it's not helping. Here we go. Inches. Okay, so we're going to use inches. We're going to measure from this little damselfish's nose to the tip of his tail. I'm just going to draw a line to make it easier for me to see. Oops. Yep, draw that line. Okay. Now, if I'm saying to the nearest inch, I'm thinking, okay, is it closer to 1 inch or is it closer to 2 inches? So 1 inch would be here, and 2 inches is over here. So is it closer to 1 or closer to 2? Well, it's all the way to 1. It seems to be even more than halfway to 2. So I would say it's nearest to 2 inches. Okay, now let's think to the 1/2 inch. So on a ruler, we zoom in a 1/2 inch, we have the long line in between. That indicates a half. So each one of these are markers and indicators. So halfway would be here, right? Half in the middle, the long one. Okay, so let's look. Is it nearer? Do we have it nearer to 1 inch 2 inches, or a half. Here's the half inch, because we have 1/2, 1 whole, 1 1/2, and 2, or excuse me, 1 1/2, and then 2 would be all the way over here. Well, it's pretty close to this line, which is 1 1/2. So I would say it's nearest to 1 1/2 inches if we're only going up by half-inch measures. One and 1/2 inches, okay? All right. But now we're looking nearest 1/4 inch. So that means we're going up by a 1/4 inch. Okay, let's see. Where are my 1/4 inches? So if this is a half, then this is a 1/4. So this would be 1/4, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, a whole. 1 1/4, 1 2 quarters, 1 3/4, 2 wholes. Okay, so just a bit of our fraction knowledge there. So let's see. Well, it's more than 1/4. It's more than a half, more than 3, more than a whole. It's more than 1 1/4. Ooh, so it's between this one and this one. 1 1/2 or 1 3/4. So are we closer to this line, 1 1/2 or 1 3/4? Look how far over the line. I think this is closer here. In my opinion, this is getting closer to this line. So I would say the closest would be 1 3/4 inches. I'm getting specific. So that's really what they're asking you to do, is to round. So if you were just going to give this, I'd be like, oh, that's about 2 inches. Or if someone wants it closer, you'd say, oh, that's about 1 1/2 inches. But if they wanted it really detailed, you'd say it's about 1 3/4 inches. Or of course you could measure it exactly and precisely, which we'd have to really zoom in for. And precisely would be, we've kind of marked it all up, but I would say it'd be 1 let's see, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8. 1 it's really in between here. We'd have to count up these little ones. So sometime it might ask you for a really specific answer, but for the most part they're going to want it rounded. Just like when we've done give the answer to the nearest 1,000 or give the answer to the nearest hundreds place. Okay, here they want you to see that an inch is about the length of one paper clip. So if you're estimating and something's about the size of a paper clip, you might want to use inches. If it's about the size of a book, then you can think, oh, that's probably feet. If it's about the size of a chair, how tall a chair is, then that's a good idea. Okay, you're probably going to want to use yards. So inches is small, then feet, then yards. Okay? All right, so let's flip the page. Choose the best estimate for the length of a caterpillar. Well, a caterpillar is about this big, right? Most of the time. Okay, remember on the other page it said inches were for a paper clip, foot is for a book, and yards is for a tall chair. So yards is way too big. That'd be a humongous caterpillar. Even 20 feet, that's like 20 books. No way, that's way too big. So inches, yeah, we're going to use inches. 2 inches, that'd be about, like this long? 2 inches. Yeah, 20 inches. Oh no, that's a lot. 20 inches is pretty long. So I would say 2 inches. That's about how big a caterpillar would be, right? About this big. So you have to use common sense for these. Common sense. Common sense, just use your brain. Use your brain. Regular thinking. Okay. A caterpillar is small, so inches are better. Estimates that feet or yards. Since 20 inches is more than a foot and is too big, the best estimate is 2 inches. Okay, for our secret drawing, let's round this photo out. This little drawing we already started. Just fill in our caterpillar. You know, it could be any kind of caterpillar. Mine's going to be kind of a ringed one like in the picture. Maybe he has some spots. Maybe at the end he has like a spiky kind of tail. Sometimes they have those so that birds get confused about which side is the head. Okay, I'm excited to see you in class for more measuring.